welcome back into another episode of the 2022 MLB Draft Show. And today we are joined by one of the headliners, one of the big dogs, if you will, for 2022, Miami commit, IMG Academy's own Elijah Green. Man, Elijah, what's going on, dude? How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. I'm good. And Ian joins us as well. But Elijah, I like to use the first couple minutes of these interviews, kind of just open it up to you, open the floor. Tell the viewers, tell the listeners, who's Elijah Green on the baseball field, and then a little bit about yourself off the field.
You know, off the field, I'm from Windermere, Florida, which is in Orlando. On the field, I'm just a humble guy. Just team leader, just likes to go after it. Really gritty guy, just hard worker. And then off the field, I'm just relaxed guy, just likes to go have fun with family and friends and just kick back and relax.
Absolutely, man.
I'd love to hear. I'm stoked to have you here today, Elijah. So every question I'd like to jump off with this is just really ask about how your year went. I've seen you all the way back in February, and it's been loud ever since then. And just really talking about how your summer went, especially you played in probably every major event we had this summer, which seemed to be stacked every week. So you guys seem to be playing every weekend. So just talk to me a little bit about how your summer went.
No, summer was great, just me able to show what I can do and just show like what I can do against like the top of the top and the best pitchers in the country and a whole around the world. So I just think it went pretty good for how I went out and prepared myself.
Is there a highlight for you? Because, I mean, there's no point in us beating around the bush. Like, you've kind of been the guy for 2022 for about a year and a half now, and you've hit some big bombs. Is there one that stands out for you this summer?
Probably my favorite moment was the one in Hoover, Alabama, 2 strikes off the trees.
Well, you hit the trees, you hit the catwalk, you hit hanging curveball. I mean, you hit every, you go out to Minnesota, you probably hit it here target. So yeah, anyways, I want to talk a little bit about who you are on the field, because I think a lot is made of all of your tools. You've got the power, you've got the hit tool, you can run, you can throw. Can you kind of describe yourself as a player, and maybe if there's a player in the big leagues right now that you like to compare your skill set to, who you think you best compare?
Probably Aaron Judge mostly. He's really a big guy.
Aaron Judge. Love him.
Really can do it all. He doesn't run as well, but he has arm strength, the power, can hit for average. So I kind of can see myself being Aaron Judge later on in my career.
I like that.
Well, talking about now, I mean, I think a lot of people overlook how well you can play center field currently. And going forward, I think you probably have it with the 6'2" speed. So you're still a plus runner. You got a plus arm out there. You make really well reads. You have a strong arm, like I just mentioned. How do you feel like you really see yourself as a center fielder going forward?
Me, just as a center fielder, I just feel like I get great reads. And then with the great reads, I can just go get any ball that's hit. And then with my good arm, if you can honestly just put me in any position outfield and I'll be good.
Absolutely. I want to talk about your swing, because it's a violent swing. It's under control. And it's a swing that you seem to have really gotten a good feel for over the last year. What's your process like at the plate? Kind of, what are you looking for? Are you looking to attack the fastball, or are you reading scouting reports? And how do you like to attack pitchers?
So it kind of depends on how, if I know the pitcher or if this is my first time seeing them. So if I know them, they'll probably most pitchers try to bust me inside so I don't get my arms extended. So I would kind of just back off the plate just a little bit. But if it's the first time, I'm kind of not off the plate, but I'm not really on the plate, so I can cover the outside pitch more. And that's probably my bread and butter is hitting the outside pitch.
Well, but now let's talk about the breaking ball, though, because I'm not going to say any names, but you've ended careers this summer. You've ended careers this summer, my man. So how have you kind of grown to identify the breaking ball? How are you so good against the breaking ball?
It's just when going back to my preparation, just hitting off the breaking ball machine, it's honestly just getting easier and easier for me just to pick up spin and then just recognizing the difference between fastball and slider or curveball. So I think that's just the most thing I've gotten better at.
Yeah.
And the amount of power you can generate in such a compact swing. You mentioned the swing in Hoover. I think that might have been your shortest home run swing I think you had all summer. It was elite bat speed to the ball, and just like you can create so much torque with your bat speed. Is that something you really pride yourself on, and just showing out how quick you can turn on any pitch in this class, no matter if it's the top tier pitching at all?
Right. It's just going back to my preparation, just going and just being on time with anything. Doesn't matter if it's 100 or 85. Just always got to be on time.
I want to talk a little bit about IMG because you're right in the middle of a stacked lineup, and it's been a stacked lineup. You got Drake there last year, you got James Wood there last year, Brady Neal there this year. I mean, you guys have been loaded the entire time you've been there, and that's only a few of the names. What's it like playing for such a stacked lineup, playing against the best of the best in the country, every spring? Kind of talk me through your IMG experience.
I mean, coming here just kind of lifted the weight off my shoulders because it's just always I'm around great players. It's just if I don't perform, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't mean that the team won't perform. So I just think it just lifted weight off my shoulders because I know everyone else can perform at the best abilities I can. So I just think coming to IMG was a really good thing for me.
Yeah. Well, I want to jump into one other question, Ian, before we move forward too fast. You guys at IMG are really tech savvy. How much do you like to get into the tech? How much do you enjoy jumping on hit tracks? Do you pay attention to your exit velos? Is that something that you kind of cultivate your game around, or does that just come with the territory?
It just really comes with territory. But one thing I love doing is the Win Reality with the VR, and that really helps with like pitch recognition and like pitch location and all that. So that really helps.
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, I want to talk about another stacked lineup and just talk to me a little bit about your FTB times. You've been there for, I believe, since I think 2018 with the squad with around those guys, and you've put together probably the most stacked lineup I've ever seen on a club team this summer. So just talk to me a little bit about how it was playing around those guys, around that talent for the last few years.
Playing around them was unreal. Just playing with the best of the best.
What up, boy?
What up, gang?
Oh, yeah. What up, Blake?
Yeah. What up, Pop?
Jared, don't throw out the last guy at the plate.
What up, baby?
You see the sand in the infield?
He's probably good.
Season just ended yesterday. Kind of sentimental topic, but it's whatever. But just playing with the boys for so many years it's been great. It's something I want to relive over and over again.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, let's talk about next steps. You committed to Miami not too long ago. Big school, big program, obviously right in your backyard. What was it about the Hurricanes that drew you in?
Oh, the area and the coaches for sure drew me in. It was all the coaches are of my liking, and then the area, you can't get better than Miami. So
Well, I just want to jump back one more time into the high school season, or just the prep season in general, and I want to talk about one pitcher that stood out for you. Maybe it was this summer or last summer. That's been you faced probably every guy at least multiple times now. It seems like. So is there been one pitcher that's really stood out for you that's been just nasty on every time you've seen him?
My own teammate Jackson Ferris. We faced each other at USA Trials, and it was a struggle for me, not gonna lie, but he's probably one of the best pitchers in our class.
Yeah, it's a pretty nasty high school class. I'm so used to hearing Carter Holton's name at that point. I'm surprised that we didn't hear Carter Holton. All right, Elijah. Well, I don't have too many more questions for you. I do want to kind of look forward a little bit in case it happens. Looking forward to the draft. I like to stay away from these questions as most I can, but in terms of like a future employer or whoever were to draft you, is there something that you're looking for in a team, in an organization, something specifically in terms of culture or the way they develop players that really would interest you?
I just want coaches to stay on top of me at all times. It's just I don't want to go to a place where the coaches are just like do whatever. I want to be like coached and be able to be coached. So like I just want to go to a organization like that.
Absolutely. Ian, you got anything else baseball-wise, man?
I don't think so. I'm excited to hear your fun questions here at the end now, 'cause I'm ready for some good answers. So I really don't have any more for you, Elijah, but I know Joe's got something for you.
All right. I mean, I'm going to change him up a little bit for Elijah just because it's a unique situation. All right. So, Elijah, most people would say that you are the best player in this class or close to it. So I want to know from your eyes, if you're not the best, who's the best player in this class? Or if you are the best, who's the second best player in this class?
I think the best player is Tamar Johnson.
KJ, what you got going on, man?
It's just the energy he brings every single day to the baseball field, and just his ability it's insane.
Yeah. All right. Second question, and you can't say Tamar, but you can if you want. Who's the biggest trash talker in this class?
Biggest trash talker. Shoot. Oh. I gotta say Tamar.
Man, how you feeling about today? Well, as a team, we're doing great. I don't know about y'all.
Two years ago at WWA, we're playing dirtbags, and one of our teammates now, Austin Hawk, I think he stole second, and our catcher Luke came in. He threw him out, and then Tamar got the ball and tagged him, and then stood over him and started screaming in his face. So that's why I think Tamar's the biggest trash talker.
Man, he's next level, dude.
We've heard it before, man. It ain't the first
Tamar's
time.
been that way since he was like 15.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll leave you. I got two more questions. This next one's pretty easy, I think, depending on what we've heard. Who's got the worst style? Who's got the worst drip in this class?
Worst drip. Worst drip. I gotta say, worst drip. I gotta say my boy Diamas Ross. Every time we go, or this is like a few years ago, so we were still FCB at the time. We weren't a scout team or whatever. He would wear we were blue and black and neon. He would wear an orange undershirt, which didn't go with anything. So it just threw everything off. But it's gotten better because we're red and somewhat blue now.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll leave you with this. It's kind of a fun question. We've gotten some weird answers over the years, but maybe you can top them all. What is the weirdest fact that you know about literally anything that nobody else knows?
Weirdest fact.
One of the all-time greats, I'll give you an example. One of the all-time greats last year, Benny Montgomery, told us that Pringles aren't a potato chip because there's not enough actual potato in them.
Wow.
The weirdest things.
Let's go with Jackson Ferris. His like superstition to throwing hard is drinking pickle juice.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Pickle juice. Ferris's.
Hey, you can tell your buddy Brady. You can tell your buddy Brady. Brady came on this show like a month ago, and he told us that if you stare into the sun, you won't sneeze, which seems like a hazard in and of itself. You won't be doing a lot of things if you stare at the sun.
Boom.
That's a good one, though, dude. We're gonna have to get Jackson on here and question him and interrogate him about his pickle juice experiences.
About his pickle juice for sure.
All right, man. Well, Elijah, thank you so much for joining us on this show, man. I know that you've got a lot of fans out there. There's a lot of people really looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table this spring. Ian and I are big fans. We're big fans of you over at Prospects Live. Fans of Tamar Johnson, too, the Tamar Johnson fan club. But, hey, man, it's been a pleasure. We're rooting for you, and go get him next spring.
Thanks for having me.
All righty.
Appreciate it, Elijah. Thanks a lot, man.
Of course.